Hello and welcome to a new episode of Experiencing Infdev Plus. In this episode, we are going to be in the first preview of version 0.5, and I'm going to be showing you the new items that have been introduced in this version. As you can tell, I'm currently in creative and not in my main survival world. This is because in this version there have been a bunch of new items introduced, and most of them are not obtainable in survival, which is why I'm in creative to show you them. The first item that I'm going to show you is a sword called the Bane of Arthropods. As you can expect, this sword is similar to the sword that is enchanted with the Bane of Arthropods enchantments in a way that it deals bonus damage to arthropods and also inflicts the slowness 4 status effect on them. So the arthropods in Death Class are spiders and lions. If I hit the spider, you will see that it emits some grey particles. This is because it has been inflicted with slowness 4. Same goes for the lion. The sword actually has the same stats as an iron sword. We can see the added damage over the iron sword because, as you can see, with the iron sword, the spider gets killed in 4 hits. But with the Bane of Arthropods, it gets killed in 2 hits. If I use other mob, for example a Creeper, it doesn't get the status effect. I'll kill it in 4 hits, just like with a iron. Anyway, moving on. The next weapon I'll show you is the Muramasa. The Muramasa is a sword with the special ability of Frostbite. That means that any enemy that you hit with it gets frozen so that it can't move. So if I use it, for example, on this ogre, you can see that it's now moving, but if I hit it, it turns blue and stops moving. So as long as it's blue, it won't be moving. And as you just saw, it only lasts a short while and the effect disappears with puff of smoke. So here it can move out of rock. Anyway, you could see the smoke, or maybe it could be better to call it vapor. And after that, the ogre is able to move again. So I'd say it's a pretty useful weapon to have, since it's useful against all the mobs, as compared to the previous sword. And the sword, the Muramasa has got, just like Bane of Arthropods, the Muramasa has the same stats as an iron sword. Anyway, the last sword that is being added in this version is the Poison Ivy. The Poison Ivy has the ability of poison. Of course, it's got the same stats as an iron sword. The poison ability means that any mob you attack gets poisoned. So if I use it on an ogre attack, you see it is poisoned. You can see the green particles around it. Of course, just like the frozen effect. I forgot to say, but frozen effect and the poison effect from the swords are guaranteed. So every time you attack the mob, the effect gets applied. Anyway, it's pretty straightforward, not much to say about it. Of course, not all melee weapons that are being added in this version are swords. One of the new melee weapons in this version is this battle axe called Unsinged Kaneshige. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. It's got the same stats as an iron sword and a special ability of knockback. This means that any mob hit with it will get knocked back more than normal. I'll show them on 2 ogres. So I've turned on their AI so that they wouldn't move, so that I could show the knockback button. So if I hit this ogre with this sword, it doesn't go that far. If I hit this battle axe, it goes considerably further. You might have also noticed that the ogre has got some particles around it. This is because whenever you hit a mob, this battle axe, it gets the slowness 1, frailness 1, and weakness 1 status effects applied to it. So this means that it got more than just the knockback ability. So it can be might be quite useful in a fight against mobs that fight close range. Anyway, the next melee weapon added in this version is the Trident. Well, I say a melee weapon, but it also serves as a ranged weapon, just like the Trident in Modern MC. It's got 2 special abilities of loyalty, channeling. It's got the same durability as an iron sword and 2 more attack stat. So the special abilities of loyalty and channeling are basically the same as the enchantments of the same name. So that means that you throw it, it will come back to you once it lands, and it can also create lightning strike when it strikes a mob during a thunder. So I'll now change the weather to thunder and show you channeling attack. Wait, now that I've changed the weather, I'll show you the attack. So I'll spawn an ogre, hit it, and you can see it gets hit with a lightning. It can be quite useful. Let's say, anyway, moving on. With that, I've shown all of the new weapons in this version which are meant for fighting your enemies directly. Next up, I'll show you 2 new staffs and a wand which are being added in this version. The first staff is the Lich Staff. In order to show you its ability, I've switched to survival mode, and I'll use an ogre to show its abilities. So if I summon an ogre, you can see that the ogre is chasing me, but if I right click while holding the staff, I summon some decoys, and as you can see, the ogre is targeting the decoys instead of me. So with the ogre distracted, I can fight it without the fear of getting hurt, which can give you quite an advantage if you're fighting against an enemy that is stronger than you. So I'd say it's quite useful. Also, as you can see, when you summon your decoys, they don't attack your enemies, they just run around randomly. Anyway, the next staff that is being added in this version is the Glacial Staff. Just like the previous one, it's got the ability to summon decoys, and it's got 256 durability. However, unlike the previous one, it's got different decoys from the previous one. So instead of summoning clones of yourself, you summon snowmen that will fight ogres for you. However, unlike the previous one, the ogres don't instantly target your decoys. Instead, you have to wait for them to attack it. You have to wait for the snowman to attack. I think the advantage of this staff might be that if you are fighting just one enemy, then as you can see, the snowmen are well, the snowmen are good at keeping their distance away from that enemy because they are constantly pushing back with their snowballs. So if you should choose your staff based on the enemy that you will be fighting. Anyway, the last staff added in this version is the Pharaoh staff. It's got 256 durability and the ability to summon decoys, just like the previous ones. So if you right click it, you'll summon a pack of termites, will attack your enemies. So you can see the ogre is trying to attack the termites. As you can see, the ogre isn't actually targeting the termites like when I was targeting my clones when I was using the Lich Staff. So instead, the termites have to actually attack it, and also the termites are kind of weak. So unlike the snowman, they don't have a ranged attack with which they would keep their distance. But you can probably overwhelm your enemies with a huge number of those termites. So you might have noticed that when any enemy that gets killed by those termites drops golden nuggets. So that might be useful for you. This might change, but one thing to note about the termites in this preview of 0.5 is that they seem to attack any mob, not just your enemies. So for example, they attack animals. Your decoys, the snowman they detect. Of course, this is unlike the snowman, which don't attack animals, and of course the snowmen also don't attack your decoys. So if I summon some snowman decoys, my clone over here, you'll see nothing happens between them. But with termites, trouble start. You can see the snowmen are attacking the termites, I think, without the termites provoking the snowman. So if this doesn't get changed, then it might not be wise to use the Pharaoh staff along with the other staffs. The next item that will be shown is the Gabriel's wand. Its special ability is teleportation. It's basically like enter pearls from one NPC turned into a tool. So if you right click it, a orb energy gets cast from it, and you can teleport it to the place where it lands. Just like Ender Pearls, it has got a cooldown. Basically, you can't use it until the orb that you've thrown lands. So, and if you look at the sprite that I'm holding in my hand, you'll see that it is an orb. When I use it, the orb disappears. Basically, like when the orb is gone, you can't use it. So I say it's Gabriel's wands is useful when you're traveling across the world, or you're in a fight and need quick escape. The only other thing to say about it is that it's got 256 durability, and that's about all the interesting things about it. Anyway, on the horizontal axis, the range of the AoE attack is a 9x9 area of blocks, which is now represented by yellow clay. So if I place chickens on any of the yellow clay blocks, the chickens will die because of the AoE attack. But if I place it on the black clay blocks, they won't die. If I move closer, they will, however. On the vertical axis, the range is about two block downwards. See, 1, 2, the chicken died. 1, 2, 3, this chicken did not. But now it does. When it comes to the when it comes to mobs above me, there is currently a bug where it has got much more vertical range than it should have. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks, and it still died, which shouldn't be, I think. And also you might notice that the AoE attack also kills the items that are on the floor, which of course is also a bug. So that should get fixed too. Another weapon that I'll be showing you is a ranged weapon called Raphael's Ring. This is a weapon which got the ability to summon homing projectiles, which when they hit a mob, they will deal 1.5 hearts of damage. So there's an ogre. The projectiles are vulnerable to the ogre. Of course, they don't just home only onto enemies, they also home onto animals. The Raphael's Ring has got 250 durability, just like an iron sword. There are 5 new arrow types that are being edited in this version. Here they are. 3 of them are elemental arrows, those being Flame Arrow, which can set your enemies on fire, Frost Arrow, which can freeze them, and Poison Arrow, which poisons them. All these elemental arrows have got a 50% chance that when you hit them that their effect gets applied. So here I have a pig. You can see this time it got set on fire. I hit it now and didn't get set on fire. Next up, the frozen arrows. They are basically the same as Muramasa. They just don't always freeze your enemies. You can see the big turn blue, meaning that they got frozen. Again, it got frozen, but it doesn't get always frozen. And lastly, poison. See, the pig isn't emitting any particles, so it didn't get poisoned. But now it did. Anyway, next up are the spawn arrows. These can be found in dungeons, and when you shoot them, they spawn enemies upon landing. So it's basically a reference to one of the old Infdev version. Anyway, as someone who started playing Minecraft in beta, I know what to do in this situation. Yeah. Anyway, they spawn enemies just like one of the old versions in Infdev, and these arrows can be found in dungeons. Next up are the explosive arrows. Those can also be found in dungeon. As you might expect, they explode on impact. These are a reference to Classic Plus, where you also have some explosive arrows. I'd say they are quite fun to use. Anyway, I have said that the explosive and spawn arrows can be found inside dungeons, and the elemental arrows can be crafted. So if you use Book of Lore, you can see that the flame arrow is crafted using a ruby, the frost arrow is crafted using a sapphire, and the poison arrow is crafted using an emerald. So, which means that they are already obtainable in survival. Anyway. Another item that I'll be showing you is the Yggdrasil's Grace. This is the first item that can be considered as not having any use in combat. Its special ability is Fertilizer. This means that you can use it the same way that you use Fertilizer in Infdev Plus. Just got the same abilities as Bone Meal in Modern Minecraft. So if you right-click grass with it, and tall grass, flowers and stuff will grow. You can also use it to fertilize saplings. Another ability that it has compared to Fertilizer and Bone Meal is that it can turn like irregular dirt and grass into normal grass. You can see. So if you like podzol, lush grass, dry grass, mycelium, poison dirt, mud, coarse dirt, dry dirt, and volcanic dirt, they will all get turned into regular grass when you right click them. Just like the other items, it has got 256 durability. That's all. That's all there is to say about it. Another item that has been added is the backpack. There isn't much to say about it since you all should know how backpack works. So you can equip it. You get 18 additional slots. Each backpack has its own inventory. So I equipped this one. I have some stone, which I prepared before recording. This one has some bricks. When you equip the backpack, you can actually see it on your back. You might have also noticed that the backpack has 256 durability, but that doesn't really mean anything since it doesn't get damaged. The backpack is uncraftable. Instead, you have to find it in a dungeon. As you can see, the backpack didn't get damaged at all. Next up, I'll be showing you the locked chest and the key. Both of these will be found inside dungeons. The locked chest will contain special loot, like the items that I've shown you before, and the items that I will show you next up in the video. As you might expect, you won't be able to access the locked chest without the key. So, if If I try to open it, I can't. But if I right-click it with the key, I will unlock it. It's basically the same as a regular chest, but you can't break it even when you unlock it, which means that you can't take it home or, well, break it before you get the key. Another item added in this mod is the Ancient Shield. The Ancient Shield has two abilities, those being Explosion Immunity and Arrow Deflect. This means that if you have it equipped, you are immune against arrow damage and explosion damage. While you have it equipped, you can also see that you are actually holding it in your offhand. Anyway, time to try it out. So if I have a skeleton over here, it's shooting me, but I don't get damaged because I have the shield. And every time I get shot by the skeleton, the shield gets damaged in my stead. And if I get hit by an explosion, I also don't get damaged at all. Instead, the shield gets damaged. It's got 256 durability, and there isn't much else to say about it since this is a pretty straightforward ability. So, the next item that I'm gonna show you is one of the most useful items to be added in this version. That is the Bracelet of Unbreaking. The Bracelet of Unbreaking has basically the same ability as the enchantment of Unbreaking. The only difference is that when you have it equipped, the effect basically applies to all items. That means that whenever an item that you have equipped or are using is about to get damaged, there is a 50% chance that the damage will get absorbed by the bracelet instead. So here I have Bracelet of Unbreaking with full durability and some shovels with full durability. If I mine a block, you'll see the shovel didn't get damaged, but the bracelet did get damaged, and instead, if I mine another block, see the shovel now gets damaged, but the bracelet didn't. Shovel now didn't get damaged, didn't get damaged, did. So every time the shovel doesn't get damaged, the bracelet gets damaged instead. So, unlike the previous items, the Bracelet of Unbreaking has 1024 durability. So I'd say the Bracelet of durability is very useful because it basically extends the durability of your items. So your weapons have more durability, armor, tools, and other things. So I'd say it's an essential item to have when the version 0.5 comes out. Next up is the Magic Mirror. If you've played Terraria or Infdev Plus, then you will know how the Magic Mirror works. The Magic Mirror in Infdev Plus works the same as the one in Infdev Plus. This means that if you right-click while you're holding it, you get transported to your spawn point, or if you slept in your bed, you get teleported to your bed. There's also a feature that if you break your bed, you'll still get teleported to the place where your bed was. What an interesting feature. The Magic Mirror has 256 durability, but every time you use it, it consumes 25 durability, if I remember correctly. This means that you can only use it 11 times. I've already used it 2 times, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So basically 11 times and it broke. I'd say it's quite a useful feature for exploring because you can go very far and you don't have to worry about returning home because it just uses the magic mirror. So it's useful for long journeys away from home, especially when paired with a backpack. So the next item is the Repulsion Shield. The Repulsion Shield has the ability of knockback. This means that if you get attacked by a mob while you have it equipped, the mob will get knocked away from you. So if I summon Mummy to attack me, you will see that it doesn't get knocked back very far. And if I equip it, it's knocked back quite far. The shield has got with the Mummy. Oh wait, the shield has got 256 durability. Anyway, you might have also noticed that I got an effect called Withering when the Mummy attacked me, but that's something I'll talk in a later clip. Anyway, moving on. Next up, I'll be showing you some aquatic items. The first one being the Sea Pickle. The Sea Pickle is a food item that restores 2 health points and also recovers air. So if you eat it, it basically restores all of your air. So you see all my air got restored. It's very good for exploring underwater. Anyway, the next items are the Poseidon Armour, an armor set, where each piece has the ability of Aqua Affinity and Water Breathing, but in order to get these effects you need all of the pieces equipped. So if I have it equipped, you see my air recovered, and I'm going to using it like I did before, but if I unequip one of the pieces, I start losing the air. Anyway, the armor pieces have the same durability as chainmail armor. This means that it's got 2 times more durability than leather armor and half the durability of iron armor, but that might change of course in the future with the full release. Anyway, another item, aquatic item, is the Super Sponge. It's basically the same as a sponge, but with higher range. So, as you can see, a regular sponge clears out the water in 5x5x5 area with the sponge in the center. However, the Super Sponge clears out an area of 11x11x11 with the sponge in the center. So it can be quite useful, might be quite useful if you need a lot of water cleared. Anyway, the next item on this list is, I'd say, a very important one. That is the Book of Lore Volume 1. This book gives you information about all of the things of the items that are in overworld. So if you open it, you will have a slot where you put the item. If you put an item in it, it will give you some information about it. You can see the name, and if you place an item which has got It's got crafting recipe, or can be used for crafting recipe or is used inside of crafting recipes. Then we will show these crafting recipes. So your crafting recipes for a generator, a horse armor, wolf armor, or as I said, we will also show you like the recipes that the item is used in. So if I grab some planks, then we'll show you the recipes in which the planks are used. Of course, the recipes shows you all the recipes for the ID. So I've put in some oak planks, but it also shows me recipes for pine planks and stuff like that. So anyway, as I said before, and you might have noticed, it it says here that it's Book of Lore Volume 1, the Overworld. This means that it will show you only information for the items that are in Overworld, because in future versions there will be new dimensions added, so there will be also Book of Lore Volume 2 and Volume 3, which will show you the information about the items from the Slip and the Overworld and the Skylands, which will be the new dimensions in the future versions. Anyway, that is all that there is to say about the book. The next item on the list is the Lucky Coin. The Lucky Coin has the abilities of Fortune and Looting. This means that when you have it equipped, it's like your tools and weapons have the Fortune and Looting enchantments. So I'll use this Diamond Ore as an example. So when I don't have the Lucky Coin equipped, all of these diamond ores drop 1 diamond, but when I equip it, they drop more. You can get 1 to 3 drops from ores when you have the Lucky Coin equipped, and the Lucky Coin gets damaged every time you break the block that it affects, or every time you kill a mob. So I've done some testing with the Lucky Coin and got some results about the luck that you get. So when you get the ores with the Lucky Coin, you get 2 items on average, whereas without it you only get 1 item. By the way, I've used an NVIDIA Explorer to edit the names of the items in case you're curious. Anyway, next up are the mod drops. So I tested it on a creeper, and with a Lucky Coin I got 2 items on average, and without it I got 1 item on average. Gunpowder to be specific. So you get more drops from mobs. Next up, brewing ingredients. I tested it on clients, but the stats should be the same for other brewing ingredients. So with Lucky Coin, I got 0.55 items on average. Without it, I got 0.2. Next up, affects the sapling drop rate. So with the Lucky Coin, you are guaranteed to get a sapling from every leaf block that you break. Or without it, you only get 0.1 saplings on average. And similar with flint from gravel. When you have the Lucky Coin, you are guaranteed to get the flint from gravel, but without it, you get about 0.1 flint on average. So the Lucky Coin can be used, for example, for baobab farming, because baobabs don't have enough leaves, and the drop rate drop rate for saplings is very small, so they are necessary in order to have a sustainable baobab farm. Anyway, that's all there is to say about Lucky Coin for now. In this next clip, I'm gonna show you the second new armor set and another item. The reason why I'm showing them together is because I think they work well together. So, the new armor set is the Thorns Armour set. It's got the special ability of contact damage. This means that it works basically the same as having the Thorns enchantment on your armor. So, for every piece that you have equipped, you deal 0.5 hearts of damage to your attacker. So, if I have one piece, 0.5, two pieces, 1 heart of damage, 3 pieces, 1.5 points of damage, 4 pieces, 2 hearts of damage. The second item is Alexiel's Crown. This gives stationary invincibility. So this means that if you get attacked by a mob, it won't hurt you when you're standing still, and instead the crown gets damaged. So I'll show both of them now. So first only the armor, and then I'll equip the crown. So the mummy is also taking damage when he's getting attacked. And when I equip the crown, when I'm standing still, I don't get hurt at all. Instead, strange. Instead the crown gets damaged. Not sure what happened to the mummy. Where did it go? Anyway, as you can see, the durability of the crown keeps going down. It's got 1024 durability, and the Thorns Armour has the same durability as the Chainmail Armour. Anyway, I'd say they pair well together because if you're not moving, then you don't get damaged, and when you start moving, then your enemies get damaged too. Anyway, that's all there is to it. The item that I'll show you in this clip is the Golden Quiver. The Golden Quiver has the ability of infinity, so having it equipped is the same as having infinity enchantment on your bow and crossbow. So I can fire this bow even despite having no arrows, and I can also use this crossbow despite having no arrows for it. Anyway, as you might expect, every time you fire a bow or crossbow, the Golden Quiver gets damaged. And of course, you can't pick up any of the arrows that you fire when you're using the Golden Quiver. So, pretty straightforward. Not much to say about it. The last dungeon item on the list that I'm gonna show you that is being added in this version is the Herbalist Pouch. The Herbalist Pouch is a consumable item that when you right click gives you some items. So for example, now I got some Entline Extract, wild berries, mushroom. Can get a lot of different items, those being some brewing ingredients, some other things we use in brewing like gunpowder, which you use to craft splash potions, and lion pincer, which you use to craft to smelt the Entline extract. Some plants like the flowers, wild berries and plants, but get them and get bamboo, reeds, mushrooms, seeds, and those are the items that you can get from Herbalist Pouch. Next thing to note is that when you open an Herbalist pouch, you get like different amount of slots filled, and for each slot you get different amount of items. So on my first time I got 3 slots filled, now I got only 2, 4, and from my testing I've found out that you can get from 2 to 5 slots filled with the average of 3.63 slots filled, and for each slot can get 3 to 10 items with 4.722 items on average. Of course, all of these are rough numbers, or exact. And another thing to note is that whenever you open the Herbalist pouch, if each of the items has got the same chance of appearing. So, for example, the frog tongue, which is a brewing ingredient, and you have got a low chance of getting it from the frogs, and it's the same chance of appearing as the wheat seeds. So I'd say it's quite a useful item for getting the various brewing ingredients. Other items aren't as useful, but it might be useful to some people. Anyway, that is all the dungeon items. So, but there is still more info about them, so I'll show more info about the dungeon items in the next clip. Anyway, I've shown you the various items that are being added to this version. However, there might still be 2 questions that you might be asking yourself. The first being, where do I get these items? Well, except for the elemental herbs that I've shown you, all of the items that I've shown so far can only be found in dungeons. In this new version there will be 6 types of new dungeons that are being added. All these items can be found in at least one of these new dungeons. So the first new type of dungeon is the Tree of Life, where you can find the Thorns Armour, Lich Staff, Crown, Poison Ivy, combined with Yggdrasil Grace, and you should be also able to find the Herbalist pouch. Next is the Stronghold, or the Bane of Arthropods, Unsinged Kaneshige, Ancient Shield, Climbing Gloves, Bracelet of Unbreaking, Magic Mirror, Lich Castle, Muramasa, Lich Staff, Glacial Staff, Gabriel's Wand, Ice Ring, Desert Pyramid, Raphael's Ring, Pharaoh's Staff, Golden Quiver, Lucky Coin, Repulsion Shield, Ocean Ruin with Poseidon Armor, Storm Amulet, Trident, Super Sponge, and Sea Pickle. Of course, the 6th dungeon type is the Battle Tower, but it doesn't have any special loot. Then there are these items. These should be found in any dungeon. I know that I watched Sabine who found the backpack in one of the normal dungeons that were added in 0.2, so the backpack is already obtainable in survival in this preview. Book of Lore should be obtainable in all dungeons. Anyway, of course, the key is obtainable in all dungeons. You obtain the key from killing the boss, and you need the key to unlock the locked chest with the special loot. Anyway, so that's the first question. The second question you might be asking yourself is, how do I repair these things? Because I can't remember which episode I've shown that you can now repair things with anvils. So what do you use to repair the new items? So I prepared these chests. So you use gold ingots to prepare the lucky coin, the golden quiver. You use emerald to, I won't be naming all of them, but you use emerald to repair these items. Ruby, repair these items. Sapphire, to repair these items. Of course, important thing to remember that you also need points to repair the items, and you get points from killing mobs, just like with XP in modern Minecraft. Right? That is all when it comes to the dungeon items. Of course, there are some other additions in this version, so I'll show these additions in the next clips. Of course, as I said in the previous clip, not all of the items that are being added in this version are dungeon related. One of the items that is being added to this version is the Observer. It is a new machine block which detects block updates. Like it's a block that still needs improvement and might improve in the future. I haven't done much testing with it yet. Anyway, next is the change to horses. So if you now ride a horse, then you'll now see that the UI now shows you the horse's health. The same goes for camels. So if I now perform some animal cruelty, you'll see the horse got hurt and the health decreased. Okay. Another change is to change the monsters. So this new change means that, for example, zombies now run faster. This is to balance the sprinting that has been added. Anyway, another new items that has been added are the dripstone bricks. Some of you might realize that the dripstone bricks have the same pattern as the limestone bricks used to have when they were first used, but limestone bricks now have a different pattern. Anyway, there have been also made some changes to potions, but I'll show that in the next clip. As I said in the previous clip, there have been some changes made to the potions. The first change is that there is a new brewing ingredient, which is the vulture leg. You get it from vultures, as you might expect. You use it to craft the frailness potions. As I explained before, the frailness potion is the opposite of resistance, so any mobile player with it gets more damaged. Anyway, there have been also some changes to the effects. A minor change that has been done is that starting from 19, the order of the effects has been changed. So, yeah, for example, 18 needs to be mining fatigue. Anyway, there are also two effects which have been replaced, which is luck and bad luck, because they wouldn't have any use. Anyway, those effects have been replaced with frailness, which I already explained, and withering, which is a new effect. The withering in Infdev Plus is different from the wither effect in Modern MC. The way it works is that it basically prevents you from healing. So if you look, you'll see that I've got 2 hearts missing, and if I apply the withering effect onto me, then I can't heal. So if I use the splash potion of regeneration, let's see, it doesn't heal me. If I eat an apple, it doesn't heal me instantly. Potion don't heal me. I can't heal. Basically, I can't heal as long as I have the withering effect applied on me. So Those are all changes to potions. With that, I've shown all the things that I wanted to show in this episode. Of course, the things that I've shown might change in the future previews, so not all the things that I've said might be true in the full release. So if there are some major changes, I will show them in the next episode. If I miss anything, I will show that also in the next episode. So the next episode will probably be when the dungeons get added, and I think I will be making an episode before that. Anyway, that is all. The episode has been long enough, so time to end it. Okay. See you next time.